What's up, guys? My name is Jay the Hokage, and welcome back to another Smackdown review. This week, I'd say Smackdown was definitely better than Raw. Smackdown was really like a 10 out of 10 this week, and I will get into why. Starting off, we have a Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Jacob Fatu segment. The show started off with Cody, and it was like, oh, what do we want to talk about, Washington, D.C.? And, he talked about how Solo attacked him, and he was like, I don't think that spike was for me. I don't think he meant to attack me, but I happened to be in his way. And Cody was talking about that, and then Drew interrupted him because Cody was talking about the chamber, and he was like, yeah, Jay picked Gunther, so whoever wins the chamber gets me. So, I got all these cool opponents. And then he said, and Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre was like, all I get is and Drew McIntyre, and basically started bitching, playing the devilish heel that he has been for the past year and a half at this point. But then Jacob came out, and Jacob was like, yo, if I win this match, it's over for you, bro, because I'm dead gonna bring the title back to my family. And then who's on our fucking screens? Fucking Solo Sikoa is shown entering the arena, and this nigga is in an all white getup, nigga. He's dressed like fucking Abel the Weekend Tesfaye, and I don't know, man. I'm interested to see where they go with him. I feel like this is a more compelling story for Solo Sikoa. It's way more compelling than anything Roman Reigns related at the moment, and I'm intrigued to see, because after Solo arrived, Jacob and Cody both went at him and went for him backstage, but Jacob ended up getting to him first. So yeah, the next segment that happened was Naomi and Chelsea for the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. And since the show was in DC, I feel like Chelsea Green had the opportunity to do something really funny, and she took that chance. Her and Piper came out in like President and Secret Service attire, and I love this bit that they're running with. And Piper, she looked wonderful in that suit, and she just looked like a real Secret Service member. And they had a really fun match, a really wonderful match. At one point, Naomi gave Chelsea a wedgie, but yeah, Naomi ended up winning the match. And it's funny, and it's also sad that Chelsea at least won't be in the chamber, because I thought they were going to put her in the chamber to try and develop the breakup between Chelsea and Piper, but it seems like they're going a different direction, which I'm completely okay with. Next thing that happened on the show was a Sammy segment. It was a video package, or not a video package, but a Twitter video, I guess you could say, because that's how him and Kevin have been going back and forth. It really reminds me of like old indie promos where you'd have to have like 90 seconds to cut a promo to promote a match. And like there's a couple videos out there of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens doing the exact thing back when they were in ROH and they were still touring the indies around America and Canada. But we got an update on Sami Zayn. He's not doing well, but he basically said that when him and Kevin fight this time, it won't be the same. Like it won't be like anything we've seen before. He's basically saying that this will be hell for the both of them, and we should expect a wonderful match between the two of them. The next thing that happened was a tag team wrestling segment. Yes, clap it up for tag team wrestling. Motor City Machine Guns and Angel and Humberto had a match which was made when they started arguing with each other backstage last week over who deserves the next title shot. And Motor City Machine Guns won. They had a good match. I think this is a good showing for La Legado Fantasma, because they just fired Electra Lopez, and I feel like if they don't really like switch it up, if they don't really like prove themselves soon, they'll all be gone soon. So I think this is a really good showing for them, and I hope this is the beginning of like a good tag team reign, and I hope Santos can get like a mid-card title too, to really put that group on the map as like a good mid-card heel. Next thing we saw was a Damian Priest video package, basically hyping him up as a single star, hyping up the main event for tonight, which was Jacob Fatu, Braun Strowman, and Damian Priest for an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And it was a pretty good promo package. I feel like they're really trying their hardest to really establish Damian Priest as a main event star. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but this man hasn't been pinned since October, which is, really telling for somebody that wasn't doing all too well before the Judgment Day. But now it seems that they really see him as a key main event player, which is really good. So basically the video package was just hyping up the match, and it wasn't really like anything different. They've been airing video packages for Priest like that for a couple weeks now. So the next thing that happened was Jacob and Solo. They had a little segment backstage, and Jacob's basically chasing after Solo backstage, and he's like, yo, where the fuck is Solo? Where's Solo? Where's Solo? And he finally finds him, and Jacob is like, yo, where the fuck you been? And Solo's like, ever since I lost to Ulafala, I wasn't myself. Like, I've been going through a lot, and I'm finally okay, and I'm back. And then Jacob is just looking at him like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? And Solo says this thing. He says, I love you, Jacob. And, you know, it seems as though they're really putting the fucking ball with Jacob and making him the leader of this new bloodline. They're seeing that the fans love him, and they're understanding that Solo Sikoa is not getting that kind of love, and they're letting him have the ball, which is great. The next thing that happened was Shinsuke Nakamura came out and basically said that none of them being the mid-card men's roster on SmackDown, have the balls to challenge him or have the strength to even defeat him. And he said he's been watching in the shadows for weeks and they're all weak. And LA Knight came out and basically said, if it wasn't for me fighting the Isles of Tonga and Samoa, I'd have that championship again. And basically called bullshit. And then The Miz came out and started yapping. I kind of tuned out when he showed up because I'm not a big Miz fan. I don't think we need him in 2025. But it led to a Miz and LA Knight match where LA Knight won and beat the dog shit out of The Miz. And after that, you know, to follow through with the segments, like connecting the segments, R-Truth came out for the next match and did a little what's up. And yeah, I thought that was funny. You know, it's always great to have R-Truth on my SmackDown TV show. And you would think this would lead directly into the match, but instead we got a segment backstage where it was The Miz basically getting made fun of by Andrade and Melo for what he said last week to Cody and Andrade respectively. And it ended with not R-Truth, but The Miz saying, oh, Melo don't miss, right? And Melo saying, fuck no, we're not friends, get away from me, and walking out and beating the shit out of R-Truth and winning his match. Yeah, it was great. I'm glad Melo's getting more wins, though Triple H isn't beating those racist allegations for reasons I don't want to get into at the moment, but just know he's cooked, man. He's charred. The WWE might be cooked as well. He might be walking bad PR for them. But yeah, that led into a Street Profits video package, and it was basically them. I think they're like officially like heels now. I think that's the direction they're going with them, and I'm glad that they finally like given them evil characters and given them motive, because when they formed the Pride, when they formed the Pride, they were just heels. Like, they didn't have any motive, and Bobby he's not a convincing heel anymore. He just looks like a nice guy. And the Profits were just getting cheered, like they were just cheering them, so they turned them face again. But now they're like convincing heels, cutting really evil vignettes, and they're basically like, yeah, we hurt people, like it's over for you niggas, like we want the smoke. And they called out Pretty Deadly specifically and said, yo, watch your back. And Pretty Deadly was like, what the fuck? And then they were interrupted by Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, because this was a backstage segment, and they were like, yo, like why would you like even ask for that opportunity? Like why? Like basically trying to gaslight them into giving up their title opportunity. And they were like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then the DIY was like, oh, we're not responsible for whatever happens. So they're probably going to try and injure them or take them out in some way. But the next segment was Kevin's response video, because, you know, the devil works hard, but apparently Kevin Owens works faster. So he responded to Sami Zayn saying, yo, like you didn't even help me, bro. Like basically just gaslighting them. Like, again, I don't know why we had two professional gaslighters back to back, but Kevin Owens has been on a generational run when it comes to gaslighting. He was like, yeah, like you didn't help me, and like, you know, I don't care if you're cleared or not, but I'm beating the dog shit out of you in Toronto. And I was like, wow, are we actually doing this? Are we dead ass having a Toronto Sami Zayn match? Which is great. They're putting all the Canadians on the show. There's another one which I'll get into later, but yeah, it was a really good segment. It was a really good video, and Kevin and Sammy are really gonna put on like a generational run, because I think they're taking this to Mania, and I really hope that they do take it to Mania, because man, this feud cannot end after one match. The next thing that happened was a backstage segment leading into a match with Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and Candice LeRae, and what they said to each other wasn't necessarily all that important. What was more important about the segment is that the Wyatt Six did their little telecast interference shit, and I think this means that Alexa Bliss will be joining the Wyatt Six at some point, whether it be permanently or whether it be to further her character or fully separate her from who she was before. But either way, either direction they take it, I think it's a cool direction, and I'm happy to see Alexa back, and I'm, you know, excited to see what she does in her newest run. But continuing, the next thing that follows this segment is a match between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, and it's Nia Jax's rematch that, you know, all champions technically get. They get a rematch clause or whatever. But The match was great. They put on a hell of a good show. Nia Jax, ever since she's come back, has been a phenomenal wrestler. She's been a great worker. Tiffany Stratton has always been a great worker. She's a great wrestler. She's really cementing herself as that bitch when it comes to fucking Smackdown. You know, she's really that top level women's star that we needed on Smackdown, if I'm being honest. But Tiffany Stratton ended up winning by DQ because Candice LeRae ended up attacking Tiffany in the match just boldly in front of the referee, and you know, it led to a beatdown, and they were basically beating the dog shit out of her. And who interrupts the beatdown but Miss Trish Stratus? It's great to have her back. She was in the Rumble, but it looks like she's gonna wrestle until the damn wheels fall off. She's been on a last run for the last 3 runs now, and it's great to have her. I expected her to be at least in Toronto and on Elimination Chamber in some capacity, because it is Canada, and they normally have the Canadian superstars come out even if they're not active. But what looks to be the move for Elimination Chamber is Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, which is cool, and a dream match that I never thought would happen. I thought Trish was truly done after she lost to Becky in the steel cage. But yeah, and after that, Charlotte came out to no one's surprise and picked Tiffany Stratton and said, "Oh, I want you." And I'm not excited for that match. I don't want to talk about this more than I have to, but I'm just letting you know that it happened, so you know that it happened. Yeah, the next thing that happened was a Jimmy and Drew segment, and Jimmy was basically watching his brother excitedly, like watching a video, like a promo package of what's happening with him, and he was like, "Oh, it would have been cool if you and your brother could challenge for championships at Mania, but you lost and you fucking suck and you're bitter." And basically Drew McIntyre was egging him on, and he ended up getting a super kick to the face, and he deserved it. He's been a bitch recently, so I'm not opposed to Jimmy and Drew having a little feud coming out of Elimination Chamber. But after that was a Braun promo as he was walking into the ring, and he was basically hyping up the crowd like, "Yeah, I've fought these monsters before, you know, I'm a world champion, I'm trying to get back to that spot, and I'm ready to take these down. This gonna be a crazy meaty men match, and I'm ready to beat these niggas up." And you know, the match that ensued was a generational match. Honestly, I think that this match should be run every year as just like, you know, a tribute to the fans, because my God, can these 3 men like work. They work like fucking dogs, and they're great workers, and I love them. I love these 3 niggas. They're so good at their fucking jobs. But you know, the match couldn't end without some bloodline shenanigans, and what ended up happening was Solo tried to interfere. He failed in interference, and then Jacob got upset. Then Cody came out and attacked Solo, and then what ended up happening was Damian and Priest ended up stealing the win. And I think this is good because they clearly want, you know, Priest to have like a lot of power coming into Mania. They want him to look like a big star, because I think they're priming him up for a Drew McIntyre feud. I think that's the direction they're going, because they're both in the chamber, and Drew's been an arrogant dick, and Damian feels like this like street kid savior kind of character. So I think if they put those 2 together, they make magic. But yeah, that was Smackdown. That was it. Nothing too crazy happened, but like I said, I do think it was better than Raw. I did enjoy it more, but I didn't even watch Raw live this week, so I guess my opinion doesn't really matter. Yeah, this has been Smackdown Review. My name is Jayla Kage, and I appreciate you for watching. I'm gonna catch you guys next week.
Riding up until the day I meet you, I'm riding up. I look up in the skies, asking out a while, but never let it faze me. I'm keeping good vibes when I'm on the road. Watch out for all surprises. What it provides is good and bad, but nothing ties.
Another one day in the night, let me paint the view, color down with my light. For every moment shared with you, not in the day, but never fully gone. Go and be back again until the coming over down.
For the days ahead of us, put your hands up, wave it side to side for good luck. like this, put your hands up. Love the moment even from dusk. Yo, you always got my back, and of course I got your back. Don't you worry about that, no. It's been a good